guys. Welcome back with another live stream. Please share, subscribe, and share this live because we got to break things down. Trump is breaking Social Security. So, in the news press, you may look at your monthly Social Security payment hasn't arrived on time. You call Social Security, the 1-800 number, and a chat bot answers. The bot provides no helpful information. You repeatedly ask to be connected to an agent until finally you are disconnected. You drive an hour to a nearest Social Security field office where you told there is no walk-ins. The next available appointment is in 2 months, and your mortgage payments is due tomorrow. This nightmare scenario could happen to you or someone you love. Why? Because President Trump and Elon Musk have ruined Social Security from within. The infrastructures you see, they have always been ensured Americans get their hard-earned benefits. See, 90 years ago, President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed Social Security into law. It has since withstood war, recessions, and pandemics, but it has never faced a greater threat than Trump and Musk. I don't say that lightly to you, my brothers and sisters. I have over 50 years of expertise on Social Security and have written multiple books on its history. So, even we see Robert Myers began working on Social Security in the 1930s. If there was a lie to see the damage Trump and Eli is doing to the systems, they will be horrified. Social Security is too popular to destroy. In a light day, President George Washington, or I should say President George W. Bush, tried to ruin Social Security, but he couldn't convince even a Republican controlling Congress to hold a vote. Trump has apparently learned from Bush defeat. His strategy is to destroy Social Security quietly from within, while loudly claiming he will never cut it. He has a plan to destroy Social Security for all, and I mean all, Americans. The administration dedicated workforce must underline in the Department of Government's efficiency have forced out thousands of Social Security staffers, including many leadership positions. This is a mass and voluntary access of expertise and institutional knowledge. Most recently, Trump administration pushed out Social Security chief data officers. Charles, a brave whistleblower, sounded alarm about Musk. So it says here, according to the report, most recently the Trump administration pushed out Social Security chief data officers. So it says Trump and Musk have no understanding of what it takes to run Social Security. They think that they can replace these dedicated, experienced staffers with 20 years old in AI chatbots. So it's the man they handpicked it to lead Social Security self-described dot person and Wall Street billionaire Frank admits that he has to Google Social Security when they offer him the job. But his lack of experience and expertise haven't stopped him from making sweeping change, including replacing human workers with untested AI bots. Under the Trump administration, Social Security field officers have lost an estimate 20% of their staff. Social Security has stopped reporting that have been public for decades now. Frank is cherry picking the remaining to try to paint a rosy picture by investigation from a journalist and a member of Congress tell a very different story. A Washington Post reporter called Social Security 1-800 number and asked the AI chat bot to connect her to a human. It took 8 attempts. Similarly, investigation from Senate Elizabeth Ward D. Mass found the most calls to the helpline are never answered by a human, according to her team. The majority of calls in with the caller was placed on hold and then dropped, leaving the caller without assistance. Like the proverbial rearranging of the deck chair on the Titanic, the Trump administration responds to this accurate but devastating reporting by staffing thousands of field office workers to answer the 1-800 number, which means they are processing benefit claims. Although Trump can report that the phones are being answered more quickly, the work to our actual gets benefits into people's hands is falling further behind. Even before Trump took office, the Social Security Administration was understaffed due to decades of underfunding from congressional Republicans. In 2023, the agency was at its lowest staffing level in 25 years, even as the number of beneficiaries claimed with 12,000 babies boomer turning 65 each day. In December 2023, former Maryland Governor Martin D. was confirmed as Social Security Commissioner. Under his leadership, the agents finally made progress, improving service to the public, progress that Frank is now falsely trying to take credit for. Congress provide funding to hire more staff, although it still was not nearly enough. Instead of building good work, Trump, Musk, and Frank are taking a rat ball to the Social Security Administration. The only reason the system haven't already collapsed is that the mission-driven staffer who remain on each doing the work of 5 people. They are holding Social Security together with a shoestring and chewing gum. But they can't do it forever. I don't say this to scare people, but to spur them to action. Now is the time to call your members of Congress. Go to town hall meetings. Enjoy protest marching. Tell Trump and Elon Musk to keep their hands off our hard-earning Social Security benefits. And Americans, we don't kneel to self-styled kings. We stand up and we fight back. Now, evil spreading far and wide. And ever since the creation we see in Adam and Eve, have there been such times as we are witnessing today, with the worst yet to come. There is no peace amongst the nations of this earth. The only few who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God. Though they are persecuted from city to city, falsely accused, and denied the credit due them because of the righteousness and the malice of the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous be represented for the righteous sake by the evildoers of the world. God is despised and rejected. Evil is accepted, and honor, justice stands far off, and equity cannot come in, said the prophet Isaiah in the Bible. The Holy Quran warns us to fear a day when evil is spread far and wide, and the days of God's presence at the end of the satanic world to bring it to nothing. Allah God calls the evil world to be upset, since they have been the enemies of peace and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who have brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy of the prophets. But they reject all Jesus charged them with, being the murders of the righteous from Abel to Zechariah. And we can very well add more and say from Abel to Muhammad. Today, America professes to be the most Christianized country on our planet, but actually she is not. For Christian means to be Christianized into one. Spiritually, that one refers to the Christ. Christ means the one who is coming at the end of the world of the wicked as a crusher. The name actually means one who is anointed to crush the wicked. The real satanic people are the right race, who have discussed themselves to deceive the black people to follow them. They just use the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They have set up a head for the religion in Rome, Italy, with the Pope or Father who represents himself as being a deceiver, meaning who is second only to Christ or God, intercede for the people's sins in recognition of God, but he has no divine backing. This false should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great Mahdi of Islam, Allah God in person. These are the days of God and Christ's presence to destroy this evil world with all deceptions. people should again labor under a wicked ruler, the devil. The presidency of Allah has upset the devil, who have been exercising total control over the world under falsehood, and have made evil to appear fair seemingly. The so-called Christian world had never before displayed such madness as they do today, since they cannot hide their wickedness and their deceitful ways. They are angry. According to the preaching and teaching of this Christianity, they prophesied that they alone will be the happy group that will welcome the coming of the Messiah, the Christ, or the Mahdi. But the Bible condemned them that they was angry and sought to hide their face from him, God. It should be clear to you today that the Christian America does not want such preaching as entire submission to the will of Allah's Islam. The Christian hates this very name of God, such as Muhammad, which are attribute of God. Jesus prophesies that they will hate you for his God's namesake, for having one of his names, because the name of God are to live forever. No, the name of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. So the coming of just one makes manifest to you this evil race of sinners. And they will be against this God's presidency and be angry because of him who seeks to destroy him and his messengers, as it is prophesied in 2 Psalms. Every nation has a term, and every nation have a term. So when a term comes, they cannot remain behind at least while, nor can they decide. Holy Quran Surah 7:34. There was a term for the people in Noah, Lot and Moses. This also holds truth in the life and death of individuals. All is under the control of Almighty Allah, especially when a divine beginning and ending have been appointed for the accomplishment of certain work that must be done by the life of people. The above chapter and verse of the Holy Quran is a warning to a present nation whose term is now coming to an end. If we know what is said to us, what is written by the prophet for us to read, study, and plan over, and if we understand, we should not fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. The trouble with the black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth. For he was ware by the slave foster parents, who is his enemy, the white race. They caused him to become heedless. It was the intention of the enemy to make the black man an enemy to the truth, as himself was and is. This the enemy was successful in doing. For the black man in America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb, in many instances as dead. This is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and restore us to life mentally. The children of the father's slave masters who took our life mentally are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since 100 years have elapsed from the time of the slave fathers, the children are wiser and educated more method to keep this black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. In the days of servitude slavery, our grandparents, the white slave master, did not even give them good food. Today, you can buy good food if you have the money. However, much of it is poisoned by chemical use. You see, the white slave master will offer a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit with a little butter on it to a so-called Negro as the introducement for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all of the other slaves on Sunday morning. The slave did not have the theology of the scriptures. He was made his other brothers spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. Same goes for these preachers of today. As you can see, they preach for reward for both whites and blacks. Now, I tried them many times. See, they are as their fathers were. See, they desire of what the white man will give them. They want him to give them better positions. And they will offer to cut off the heads of their black brothers, if it would please their masters. Although, brothers and sisters, I live in a neighborhood with white neighbors, I do so for the purpose of proving that I can live in their neighborhood just as cleanly and noisily as they do. You know, white people do not like you to come into their neighborhoods, jumping on them and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when he is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you come into the block beating on your wife or girlfriends and drinking in front of their houses. See, no decent, intelligent person like this, where he is white as snow or black as the ace of spade. You can go to the jungles and you will not want this. You see, late at night, he and a gang, a monkey will come out and beat you up. See, the American so-called Negro have been made out of himself in kind by white Americans. He must now be reformed. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant actions because he has become a part of ignorancy. Now, the end of the term which was set for the white man have come. The average so-called Negro, the law-found members of the black nation, does not know that this is the end of the world of the white man, his rule over the black nation. He will not listen to one of his own kind who tells or teaches him of the time and doom of the world that we have all known, white man's world. They offer high positions and money to the so-called Negro intellectual politicians who will work against the good of the black American people. They will accept such, for they have been deceived of love for self and kind. What do they care about? The millions who are deceived in the mud of civilization. They are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and the fried chicken, as they slave fathers did. You will not think, brothers and sisters, that they will hire themselves out to be stool pigeons, white man bootlickers, Uncle Toms, in these modern times of advanced education. But they are doing just that. They do not want the praise of God and their own black people. They want it today for their slave master children. See, the slave master children would give it to them as long as they reject themselves in kind and worship white folks. See, the white man is very clever in making a public fool of the black man. They show the brown, yellow, and red man what a good job they have done on the black man in America and throughout the earth. See, he's doing what nature bid him to do. I do not blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. Of the white man to make a fool of our people. But it's not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. But when you have been giving the knowledge of yourself, the nature in which God created you, you still allow the enemy to make a fool of you, then you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous. Not after knowledge. The divine term that was given to this white race to allow him to make a fool of the black man and rule him with tricks is now up. The devil with his tricks must be removed. He was given this chance to deceive you with his trigonometry, and therefore God will not hinder the devil from tricking you if he can. This is written in the Holy Quran, chapter 7. But God promised hellfire to both the devil and his followers, whom he can get from the black nation. Therefore, you and I, after the knowledge of the devil, his tricks, his turn, should not blame anyone but ourselves. If we allow the devil to trick us, for that is the job of the devil. It is his nature. We blame ourselves and not the enemy. You lust for as have new women and thirst for whiskey and beer. You desire gambling, robbing, killing each other for the personal profits of others. See, this is the work of the devil upon you. You do not have to allow him to cause you to live such a life. Do not blame them, blame your foolish self. It has always been the policy of the white man to use a black man against a black man, especially leaders. Look at history. See how he has deceived it and killed off black leaders in foreign lands. And then they took over for themselves. This should be a lesson for you and me. See, we the Muslims have watched our people who have come amongst us as eyes and ears and stool pigeons for white folks. When they become converted to the truth and join us, they confess that they are ashamed that they have worked against us for the sake of a few perishable dollars. We know that the white man is our enemy. And whatever we are, He offered some silly so-called nigger in a higher office and higher pay to work against us Muslims, the righteous, or any so-called nigger, whether he is a Baptist or a Methodist or a holy roller or a sanctified, excuse me, some lazy so-called nigger who work against him for the white man. It is a shame in such modern times to see black politicians and preachers accepting position to work against their own black people for a few dollars from a race whose time have come to end. See, we are justified in taking it if the white man give us $1 billion or $100 billion. We deserve it. But we are not justified to sell our lives for such a gift in this day and time. Declare yourself a Muslim and see how much this devil will give you. He would say we will give it to you if you preach now that we are not devils. And we will answer. See, that's the same as saying, if you do not teach this truth for me, so that I can continue to deceive the world of your kind, I will help you. Now remember what the Bible teaches us, that Satan said to Jesus, all these things I will give you if you'll fall down and worship me. Matthew 4:9. And he showed him the kingdoms of the world. Perhaps you will be offered the world of the wicked pretty soon. If so, see, the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the world and lose his own life soul? See, this is a warning to the preachers. See, the little money with its dying value will not help you against God's aim and purpose of the resurrection of the dead, lost, found members of the nation. See, you will lose your life. For so doing, you should, for you cause innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell with yourself and the enemy. Allah God came forth in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, the Son of Man, as it is written, seeking to save that which was lost, and to resort again that which has gone astray. He said to me that he will eat the rattlesnake to save our lives, and that he will walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach just one, in order to save his life in exchange for our safety, return to our own. I have taken him for my God and my Savior. I advise you to do the same. See, regardless of the offers of the money, which is fast becoming worthless. See, Jesus refused the money and dwelt upon the truth that is written, that we must not worship Satan. Satan placed behind us and not in front of us. It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible, it is written that you will accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him. See, read the fallen passages of your Bible which dwelt on the time of yourself. See, the American white people are more concerned about mistreating the black one slave of America than America is concerned with any nation on earth that's attacking her outlying posts. Her enemies are intensifying the attack on her. America right out of the frying pan into the fire all over the earth due to her evil intentions against her loyal black once slaves. Her talk of evil doing against the black one slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations that they are trying to attack and destroy her countries. See, white America has more hatred for the black one slave and her millets who are faithfully fighting on the frying line to help her against her enemies than she's against the enemies that they are shooting down. White America talks of building concentration camps for the black one slave, the black man in America. I'm told that America already have concentration camps built for this purpose. Concentration camps are jailhouses, prison house. This is why I cry day and night to my black brothers and sisters to seek refuge and Allah God in such a time as this. The Muslims do not have to worry about any such imprisonment, for the Muslim is already a citizen of the Nation of Islam. And we have our own people, Muslim, to deliver us by the order of God. This is why it's so necessary that the black man in America accept Allah God and his names and get out of the names of the enemy, white slave masters, who does not seek to bring about peace for us, but enemy seeks to bring about our death. See, white America wants the black one slave to suffer that which is not due to the black one slave. The black one slave has not sinned it, nor has the black one slave attacked other nations, except under the orders of his white slave masters. See, who independency since you seen 1776 you black men have been worshiping the 4th of July, along with the real authors of the 4th of July, the white man, as a day of independency for themselves. It is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as a day of rejoicing, overachieving this country of independency from any other foraging source. Now, the history of the 4th of July shows that it is the Independence Day of the American white man. They wrote their Declaration of Independence for themselves. See, the white man did not put anything in the Declaration of Independence for the benefits of the black man, who was the servitude slaves of the white man at that time. The joy which the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor, and a day which this white man has set aside for celebration. That is all the black slave was rejoicing over, that he did not have to work that day. But you are free now, and you do not need this for an excuse for your worship of the 4th of July. There is no further need for us to worship the ganging of the white man's independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence and how it came on the same day of the 4th of July at the coming of Allah, to whom praise are due forever, on July 4th, 1930. The coming to us of the Independence Day of the white man is very great. It is the day of great rejoicing, as with former people and their governments. Their destruction took place when it was at the height of their rejoicing. The kings, according to the Bible history of him, we see in Daniel chapter 4, was walking around in his palace and proudly looking around and admiring the skills of the work he has set up, and says, "Has now all this my hands have made?" The Bible teaches us that while the word was in his mouth, the end came. Allah God changed his mind and heart from that of a civilized man to a mind and a heart of a beast. He had the brain reaction of a wild beast, and he was cast out amongst the dung. Now, what does that signify? It gives us a gleaning into the history of the white man. Is being cast out of the society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago, after he was made, and then started trouble amongst the people of righteousness. See, troublemaking costed the white man into the hills we see in K side, of West Asia, as Europe was called at that time. So Allah God taught me. Its name was changed to Europe after the white man was cast into that area. See, Europe means a place where people was bound in to keep them out of society of the righteous. Moses made the white man as an independent race through the guidance which Allah God gave Moses to guide the white man out of his savage cage life and put him on the road of conquest of the black man. For 400 years, the white man swallowed us, the black man of America, up. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He set it bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything other than what this white man was teaching our black slave fathers. This caged us in and made just as secure a cage as the literal cage of Europe that the Arab people put the white man in 6,000 years ago. The 4th of July is a day of rejoicing of the white man over his opponents for the Western Hemisphere. He wrote his constitutions for his own white people and not for the black slave. Since this is his day, which he has set aside for himself, then what part, black brothers and sisters, do you have in this day? Your part is not mixed it with his part in a way of his own white politics and physical independency. But as I call your attention to proud king history and what happened to him at the heights of his kingdom, Allah God never destroyed a powerful people, nor deprived them of self-independency when they were in trouble or when they were sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. He made them think that they will live forever. So it was with the coming of Allah God and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, on his coming to us on the 4th of July, 1930. His presidency meant the destruction of the independency of the white race, and especially America, over the black man. Allah God visit the black slave, for he is more in need of help to enjoy freedom of self. Since Allah God came for the purpose of bringing self-independency to the black slave, then his going forth is with justice. The Bible, Revelation 19, verse 11, to show Allah God's greatness and power over their slave masters and his people. Now, Allah God attacks them at the heights of their civilization and at the greatness of their power and strength. On the 4th of July, while they worship the greatness of the accomplishments, and the black slave is sitting at his feet, as it was with the kings, as it was with Pharaoh. The same is being repeated today. This is the coming of Allah God on the 4th of July. For 400 years, we have been suffering under this servitude slavery, and at the relentless hands of this white slave master over us. Allah God came to give justice and freedom to us and to make us equal members in society of a new, powerful, strong, wise people of this earth. Ever since that day, the 4th of July, we see 1930 had meant the doom of American domination over the black man of America and the black people of this earth. Ever since that day, America has been falling. America fall, we see, is now going on. America refused to break her fall when she could have broken her fall, as the Bible teaches us. Babylon could have been ill, but she was not. Jeremiah 51, verse 9. She did not do anything to want such forgiveness. America had been offered a chance for forgiveness, but she refused to accept it. For she never offered to do anything favorable towards her black slave that would make them free of her powers to rule them. Black slaves went to their death fighting the enemy of the white slave master to help America to maintain her independency against foreign dominancy. The black slave was not given anything in exchange for a sacrifice. When a dog hunt for a hunter, the hunter master would sometimes share a part of the game with the dog. The black slave have helped his master to overcome and to put other people under control of his white slave master. See, the black slave had fought, died around the earth to help this white slave master to conquer those whom the master called his enemy. See, we helped the white man to conquer Cuba and to overcome and subdue Mexico and the Philippine Islands and other places around the earth, and also Japan. How many lives did the black man lose in the Pacific by helping this white man to conquer the people of Japan, who are the brown half owners of the black man? See, the brown race and the yellow race are half brothers of the black man. Who independency? Now the white man and the black man are both free on this day. The coming of Allah God on this day means the freedom of the black man too. The clear of Allah God coming on this day shows the great wisdom of Allah God. Everywhere the white man may be, even in Europe, the earth belongs to the black man. Let us rejoice on this day, the 4th of July, and the coming of our Lord God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, and give thanks to him. Let us enjoy the independence he had brought to us, the freedom, justice, and equality. He brought these things to us not by killing off the Red Indians, nor any original settler. See, justice and righteousness are used by God. Independence means to be free of the dominancy of others. It is a very happy feeling for one to enjoy self-freedom. To the white race and the Western takes this day, July 4th, 1972, to be a day to worship and remembrance of the achieving independence from other people. To the white race and the Western have to conquer the Indians, who have the independent claim on a country now called America. Then the white race and America cut off the ties of England and France and became the independent holders of the present country called America and the Western. So the white race was not satisfied with owning a new country to itself. They wanted the country built up, but the white man was afraid to trust himself to build this country up. So he goes to other countries that was civilized and uncivilized Africa. From Africa, he took our black people as slaves and used us for hard labor purpose. Now the white race have achieved it, those desires. And now he has the glorious things that man can enjoy. Freedom. The country of America cannot be said to be the white man's own. But having the freedom and the power to overcome the native Indians of this country, the white race in America takes this day, July 4th, to celebrate the joy of independence of others. As thou hast done, so shall be done to you. Someone's about to take away your joy, bro. Independence. The white race here in America have done the worst to black people who helped the white man to build up the country of America and to make it suitable and to bring this joyful independence. But the white race in America have angered God due to the evil done to us after 400 years here under the white race. The white race still desire to mistreat and to kill us all day long. The white man hates his black slave, while the black slave should be hating this white man for mistreating the black slave. But the white man makes the black slave to love him so well that when the white man mistreat him, the black slave would not dislike the white man for mistreating him. Now the time of God has arrived, the time that Allah God must separate the black slave and his white slave masters and bring freedom to the black slave. So we see the power of our enemies being broken by God and destroying the power of the white man's powers to maintain his slave over the whole world. Independence is fine if we can keep and maintain independence. But there's a dark cloud of trouble now springing over the country of America. The dark cloud makes her once freedom of thought and action become instead a freedom of death, hell, and destruction. It is awful to look over these things of evil and of trouble that are coming upon the glorified North America. The poor black slave, numbering now into tens, millions of black people, never knew anything of the joy of freedom, because this victorious enemy, like a young lion, as Daniel gives it in the Bible, had made the black slave a prey to all of the white man's wicked desires. Now, what do we have to celebrate in the fact that the white man is doing freedom over us? Yeah, your mama's crazy. And celebrate this white man's independence. We make a fool out of ourselves. We cannot celebrate his day. It's the only time that we, the black people, have a day to worship, are able to call a day our day of freedom, is when we are free from this white America and free from any nation and become independency with some of this earth that we can call home. Then we can say that this is a freedom day and holiday for us. Black sisters and black brothers, let us unite and get together and try to go from that what binds us to others. See, the white man trichology, my brothers and sisters, has always been trumpeted to the world that they are peace lovers, as though they want all people, as they falsely claim, to be free and to live in peace, while they are sitting on and crushing between 20 and 30 million black people in America, who was a servitude slave 100 years ago. Now, for 100 years, we see the slave master children falsely claim that we are free and that they are trying to treat us as free people. They have come to me that in states of Alabama and the country of Alabama, there are big plantations owned by white people in a stately White House set up on hills, and the slaves live in the surrounding stocks. Now, these black people work very hard for very small pay, you see. It's said by some that the salary range from 25 cents a day to $2.50 a week. See, rough clothes to work in are furnished to them. See, brothers and sisters, we see this kind of slave labor goes on through generations. One generation after another is subject to this slave way of life in what is called a free world. In order to keep these black people in this type of slavery, the owner had mounted a guard patrolling the plantations with a gun lying across his lap and a saddle on his horse to see that there is no black interference from the outside to entice the enslaved blacks on the inside of his plantations to come in a bare area for better wages. These people grow up there and they die there on the plantations. Some of them never knew civilization. They are sci-fi because they know no other life but the slave life that the father and grandfathers have been living under. We hear this kind of slavery goes on not only in the country of Alabama, but in every other states, such as Mississippi and Georgia. A year ago, when I was a young man in Georgia, I heard that such slavery on large plantations was going on in certain areas in Georgia. People go to the farm there, and the poor man probably owns another white woman. And then this white woman pays the debit that he owns the other white woman. And then the black man becomes slave, the balance of his and his family life on a plantation. And this white man who pays the debit to a previous white plantation owner. See, as long as he lives, he never pays that debit. See, this is the worst injustice and the most cruel slavery of all. They are shot and killed or beaten to death if they are found trying to leave the plantations. The white owners make other blacks of the same plantation under fear of being informers of what is said and planned by other blacks. It has been told to me in my younger life that certain rivers, lakes, wilderness, like place carrying the bone and skulls of many black slaves from these plantations, so-called freedom times, and the age of slavery by the laws of this government and the world. But in these southern states where Mr. George Wallace was running for president, he can make every black man and woman in the South vote for him under fear. See, these black people are afraid to disobey white people in high office, or even an old white farmer who is hardly able to buy himself a new overall suit. See, these black people in the South have been brought up for many years and for centuries to fear white people, where there is no freedom or chance to get out among free people. These black people become the most ignorant and the most terrifying people of whites that they are in the country of America. And a white man knows this. He gets rich. He builds himself a fine, luxurious home on a plantation. And as far as he can see, he claims that the land is his. And the poor slaves are living in the worst stocks. And when the rain comes, some of them have to go to the walls or the house with piles to catch the rain coming through their own most open roofs. When winter comes, they are setting up to their fireplaces trying to keep warm. These are the worst living conditions of human being that could even be in the jungle of Africa, where they do not have saw malls or bricks, kins to saw timbers into limbers or to mold bricks. America had everything necessary to make her slave a good warm home, cold home, and to give her slave a good living wage. Because our fathers for 400 years have already supplied the wealth for us today to be given good substantial wages for our necessary of life. Do I think that Mr. Harris will run in 2028? No. Because you guys have to know and realize that Trump is the last president. Y'all gotta get into. I urge you all get into the word because we already in the revelation. The trumpet. You see Trump and the trumpet. Trump and the trumpet. The trumpet is already sounded. The angels God sends to sound out the alarm. Trump is the last president. He's the last president. To answer your question, he's the last president. Now, we see that white America have everything necessary to make her slave a good warm home, a cold home, give the black slave a room and board. She have everything. She have all the accessories to give the slave a good home. So, brothers and sisters, you see, it's peaceful to go into these southern areas out in the ritual district and see how after 400 years, the wicked sunburned, kiln nose, tobacco juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery conditions. You see, crushing them to death and diseasing them. Children are coming up suffering from malnutrition. Fevers and other disease capture them and take them to their pine box grave or to a hole in the ground right in the South without anything like honor of their death. See, they are buried in rough pine wooden boxes. See, the black slave of America is so mistreated by 400-year-old slave masters and slave master children that you just cannot describe any other mistreatment of human beings to equal the evil and ill treatment that the black man has and still suffer today in America. And many times in cities of the southern states, even in their capitals. So you'll find the black man living in a very bad condition. See, this is the beast that Daniel gives in his description. A very well-known beast. You gotta understand Daniel gives a very well-known beast in Daniel 7:5. There was a beast that was to rise from the sea, and out of the sea he had 3 ribs, meaning that the black man and woman was swallowed for 3 centuries. See, ever since Daniel gives a description of this ruthless beast, subjection, ruthless behavior by the devil to our people. See, this means that America will laten heavy sentences, long prison terms, to refuse the prisoners to go free. To show her lackness. Ever since we been here. So we see in many of these towns and cities in these southern states, even in their capitals, so you'll find a black man living in the worst conditions. His toilet sometimes an open, boarded up, place stinking, right there in the cities, diseasing the citizens. Because you see that evil demon, the white man, wants to give all the ill he can to a people who have served him as slaves for 400 years. See, this is going on in the South. Go see it for yourself. Now, the U.S. mail comes into these southern towns and cities. In some place, we see the black people are forced to walk to a drugstore and ask a white drugstore owner for their mail. Then you should see how they are treated like dogs, as though the white devil are getting him something free, while the sinners of the mail have paid the tax for the post carriers to bring it to the other doors. Little black children we see are dying from diseases. Little children are walking around with sore pus, running out of them for lack of medical attention. See, little black children are dying of disease right and a false freedom of this USA. See, black people are carried down by this victorious enemy who keeps his gun loaded to blow them down. And every happy, one-sided, grinding mouth policeman or sheriff is seeking just the size chance to kill a Negro. He only had to say to his brother devil judge that he has to kill a Negro. And the judge look at him and give him a big smile and a hand clap as though he did not kill enough. See, you are to kill all of them. and I mean all of them. See, I have heard from their mouth when I lived in the South that there was too many Negroes in the South, and the white people should kill off some of them. There are more Negroes than whites, and the white man should kill off some of these Negroes. Now, what chance does this black man have under the shadow of American governments for freedom, justice, and equality? See, I thank Allah and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who have come to deliver the black man in America and to kill the oppressors. This is very good, and we should be shouting day and night that the deliverer has come. The revelation of the Bible has given these people the right name, a beast. And the most vigorous description does the revelation gives. In Daniel of the Bible, this people is described as a beast rising up out of the sea with 3 ribs of a man in his mouth. This is the description of America, the black slaves swallowed for 3 centuries, and the power of our enemies, the devils. The black man of the South will be a fool to vote for any white man of the South to rule him. He should stay away from the poll, because this white man from whom he votes is an enemy of his. He is bound to tighten the shackles tighter than ever. The preacher enforcing this law, and that law is unjust law directed against the black man. Vote for Allah and for his servants, Elijah Muhammad, and by the power of Allah, God, who have come in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. All other prophecies, the Bible, what he would do in freeing this black man of America will be fulfilled. Let us submit to him and live in peace with money and good homes and with the friendship of God and the righteous. There is nothing that you have to fear today but God himself. It is useless for us to fear our enemies after the coming and presence of our God, who has power over the very atom of life. With fear of this white man, it will cause our people to eat the fire of hell with the white man if they do not recognize the fact that it's God whom they should fear, and not the devil. The world of the white man is now crumbling and coming to nothing. The safety of the black man is his God. As the Holy Quran teach us, in this day and time, seek refuge in Allah, the God of the black man. He is the only place of refuge. We have made America one of the richest and strongest people on earth. Her mighty navies command the high seas, with her undersea cliff crawling on the bottom of the ocean, carrying deadly weapons to surface and pour out on towns and cities other than America, and with listening devices set up throughout the earth on land, sea, and air to listen to see what people are saying about her and planning against her, knowing she is guilty and deserving death, and that she should be taken and destroyed. She had put up a mighty battle, but Allah too had prepared, and he is the best prepared, knowing their thoughts before they was ever made. They had not the slightest chance today against the power of Allah that is working against them, even through the force of nature. See, the white race have been disgracing the entire black nations of this earth. See, Africa has suffered under the same wicked power of this white race and have an awful time of trying to rid herself of such a demon. She will do so, and soon. Here in America, Almighty Allah God wants to make himself known with both the punishment and destruction of this mighty, powerful, rich people. Fear not, my dear black people, for we have Allah with us. He is the mighty and the strong and the most powerful one to be feared. Come follow me, and I will lead you to your starvation. According to the article we see in November 25th, 1969, we see issue of the Wall Street Journals, written by Mr. Neil Maxwell, staff reporter. According to the reports, our own farmer, the Muslim property and life are being attacked by a devil. Mr. James H. Bishop called himself a missionary. He had started attacking us for a fight. The Muslim had lost a couple of heads of cattle by gunshots penetrated by some coward, according to report of Mr. Neil Maxwell. This demon, Mr. James H. Bishop, seeks to bring himself and American people into a war with Allah God and the righteous, which will be the end of America and her people. We the Muslims are a people of peace and are proving ourselves to be just that all over America. And of course, this demon, Mr. James H. Bishop, is proving himself to be just what he was made to be, a mischief maker. As Allah God became in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, has taught me that he is. I warn the troublemaker that he is playing with fire and a very hot fire, for he is not attacking Elijah Muhammad and his followers, but he is attacking Allah God, who welcomes the attack. For this is what he came for. As sure as Allah God live, we will convert every black man in America for his or her own, and this includes those in Alabama. Look at the Muslim condition in Alabama. We went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen of Alabama, and then some white enemy appears, call himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus. But he did not forget to preach the gospel of the devil along with it. This devil, Mr. Bishop, we hired him when we first went to the farm in Alabama. He worked for us on the farm, digging holes to help us to get set up on the farm. At that time, he said nothing to us in a way of charging us with being there illegally. Why did he hire out to us? Why did he help us to get started on our farms? See, we hired him and paid him for his work, and there was no talk from him in a manner in which he is talking now. So this man has now turned to be a real open enemy and not a secret enemy. He even goes so far now to even talk of killing us and asking us for a fight. We are losing cattle from bullet wounds. He is speaking in a direction of even destroying our properties and cattle. He even makes it hard for us to buy gasoline. And the most ignorant and worst thing is that the gas attendant sells us the gasoline, and then we are arrested and charged it with a crime, combine the gasoline, instead of charging the man who sold it to us. It is very ignorant and silly. We have brought lands and cattle in Alabama, and we mean to get the profit out of what we bought. And if the government of Alabama intends to drive us out from our property, they will have to buy us out, not drive us out. If the government of Alabama is in agreement with the white people in Alabama and what they are doing against the Muslims, then I want to say to the whole white America that we have Allah God on our side to retaliate against anyone who mistreats us. We did not go down there with rifles and guns to shoot anyone. We are Muslims, and the brother Muslims, if we are not accepted by our brother Muslims, we must certainly have been accepted by the God of Islam, Allah, whose proper name is Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who came to us without observation, as it is written of him. However, he makes his work manifest. The Nation of Islam idea, again, is to build better countries, homes for the black people. I said to the whole American white people that you can never win against anyone outside or inside of America as long as you seek to mistreat us. As it is written in the Bible, he who contains with us, Allah God will contain with him and give them their blood to drink like sweet wine. So remember, we are the people of Allah God. We make no trouble with anyone. Allah God will retaliate against anyone who makes trouble for us, who seeks to do us harm. The decline of the dollar, the strongholds we see of this American government, is falling to pieces. She had lost amongst the nations of this earth. See, one of the greatest power we see of America was her dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. For this is the media of exchange between nations. The English pound and the American dollar have been the power and the beckoning light of these two great powers. But when the world went off, the gold and silver standards, the financial doom of England and America was sealed. Pound had lost 50% of its values. American dollar had lost everything now, as power backing for her currency, which was once backed by gold, from every $5 note and up, and all of her currency was backed by silver, from a dollar note up. But today, the currency we see of America is not backed by any sound value of silver or gold. The note today is something that the government declares that they will give you the value in return, but does not name what that value is. But they definitely are not backing their currency with silver or gold. This is number one fall. And it's very clear that the loss of the power of the American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound backing from our notes? We do not know. What should we expect, even in the next 12 months, under the fall of the power of American dollar? This means that we have 100% inflations. See, what could happen under 100% inflation? Your guess is as good as mine. The power of the gold and silver was once bounded in America. But the touch of the finger of God against the power of so mighty a nation has now caused the crumbling and fall of America. We can easily and truthfully liken the fall of America to the prophet picture given in the Bible. We see Revelation of John 18, verse 2. The name Babylon used there does not really says whether it is ancient Babylon or a picture of some future Babylon. The description it gives as follows. He, the angel, cried mighty with a strong voice, with authority, saying, Babylon, the great America, is falling, and it becomes the habitation of devils, and a hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The description here gives to the Babylon by the prophet compared with the present history and people of America and their fall. The picture shows the cause of her fall. Number one, she has become the habitation of devils. And being the habitation of devils make her a haven for every people that loves the work and doing of the devil. Here The prophet refers to them as being a whole every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. People referred to as birds, snakes, beasts, fish, other animals to tell or represent the characteristics of that person. It is universally known that the very beginning of American people was from the lower class of European people, and their first ruler, President Washington, was a fugitive from England, and the common dissatisfied and lower grades of European people followed and boasted his authority. See, this field inhabited America with a very low class and low base people. And then this type of people went into Africa, purchased slaves from our people who was also uneducated, most of them. But there was a few who was highly educated. All of these began to mix with lower base, evil mind, will citizens of the Western rights. And when America began to get stronger in power, he opened her doors to unprivileged laborers in overpopulated countries such as China, Japan, and Europe to seek citizenship in America. This brought into America one of the most mixed people who was granted the freedom to live any kind of life they choose. It was not forced to serve the God of the universe who made heaven and earth, nor any religion. They have freedom of worship. See, this makes America a haven for any people who wish to be free of the competitors and religious and just rule and authorities. This people for the past 500 years have put into practice every evil that's imaginable. Freedom of uncleanness is granted and is worshipped. The percentage of sexual worship of the same sex is greater than any government on the face of this earth. Little children are being taught sex almost from the cradle, making a whole nation as we see, as one man put it. 90% freak of nature. It is common to see on the streets of any metropolitan city of America, man sweethearting with man, woman sweethearting with woman, little boys with boys, and little girls with girls. It is common that a decent family is puzzled as to where to send their children for schooling. There are no all-girls schools as they once were. There are all boys colleges breathing such filthy practice we see. We see the jailhouse, prisons, federal penitentiaries are all breathing dozens of homosexuals. As the prophet says in the 18th chapter, see, it's a cage for every unclean and hateful bird. There are types of hateful birds. This is why a name is given. It means human beings. There are birds of prey that are unclean. We see such as crows, owls, blizzards, ravens who live and thrive off the carcass of others. There are unclean people we see living and thriving off the unclean. It's time that God intervenes to bring about an end of such people as the wicked of America. She offered the same filth to all of the civilized of the earth. And she hates you if you are against her way of life, and will threaten you with death as the Stalemites did Lot and his followers. But I say to you, brothers and sisters, as the 4th verse of the Revelation chapter 18 says, you that want to be a better people than this, come out of her. The so-called American nigger are referred to here in the 4th verse as being God's people. My people come out of her, that you be not partaker of her sins, and that you receive not of her plague. This is a call to the American so-called to give up a doomed, wicked people that has destroyed them from being a people worthy of recognition, and who have now become lovers of their enemies and destroyers. The fifth verse that tells us that her sins have reached into the heaven, and God have remembered her iniquity and is ready to destroy her. Her destruction comes quickly, according to the 8th verse, that pledge of death, mourning, famine, which come in 1 day, 1 year, then after that she should be destroyed by fire, burned. This is backed up in these words. Strong is the Lord God who judged her. Here it gives us a knowledge that he who judged is well able, with power, with wisdom, to make judgment against her. The pledge of our Lord God we see against this educational system of America is something we see that the philosophers and scientists should look into, as the destruction of American education is the destruction of the wisdom to educate the people. There are many who look on destruction without taking a second thought, a destruction of American education. See, education is a guide for the people to keep and maintain a civilized life. It's education that civilized us. Now to see the citizens of America rebelling against this American educational system is something that the rise should look into. American people actually have come to a point where they hate their own educational system. This means that they are now hating and destroying this civilization, because it's education that civilized people. So the American people no longer want their education and are destroying the very houses that house their textbooks education. They are rebelling against their teachers who teach education. They are fighting their teachers, and then they set their houses on fire, schools, colleges, and universities. This means in words I have said above that they are destroying their own civilizations. See, the black people of today who are blindly helping this white people to destroy this civilization are like Samson was in his day and time. He helped to pull this building down, but he was blind to the fact of destruction of the building. We see all Samson wanted to do was to get even with his mockers, who had put out his eyes and who laughed at him. See, Samson did not care whether there would be a civilization left behind him or not. He was willing to die blind to the knowledge of the future of his people. And those people he was destroying. Throughout America, we see her colleges, her universities, and her teachers are in great danger. The students no longer want an old world guidance here. It's a new world that they want. So we see in a madness, they are destroying this educational system because they are looking for a better civilization. The civilization of the black man. Wisdom of the educational system of the black man of the earth has never been known to this world, because the black man was put to sleep in order to let this world, white man, try itself at ruling. Now the rule of this world have been found to be dissatisfying, and the dissatisfaction is 100%. Allah God has come to take over and to guide other people and to setting up a better educational system for the people of whom himself is the head. And we all get guidance from him, as Daniel said in his prophecy. God will set up a kingdom and he will not lead it into the hands of others, but he himself will guide it. But first, he must remove all this rubbish of this white man world educational system. He discard American educational system as we discard rubbish to be burnt up. See, the black man who hears the teaching of Islam feel proud that he had been taught something they had wished for all his life. But the average black man that hears does not accept it, as he should. He accepts it in such a way that he could be criticized and mocked. For he wants to take a piece of it as he had done in the past. And he run away with it, claiming that he knows this. He would try to set up something of his own word from a few words of it. See, they throw the black man behind. See, they do this through envy, jealousy, and proudness on the parts of the person. This is the way the black man of America is divided. The devil knows that this black man is proud and envious. So the white man helps him to be this way so that the black man will never get any place towards self. If the black man takes such steps to divide himself up. See, look how the devil is teaching our people. Division now. The devil goes and get everyone we think of for the black people to allies them. Look how he named streets after Reverend Martin Luther King and Malcolm, because he was the devil's disciple. See, Reverend Martin Luther King was not disciple of the black man. He preached integration with white people and become white folks. And then the white man killed him. The white man does the same to you. Although you follow what this white man tells you to follow, and you worship the white man. See, many times I have reminded you that Reverend Martin Luther King was not trying to separate you from the enemy, but instead he was trying to unite you with the enemy. See, Reverend Martin Luther King was not seeking a home for you, as Moses was seeking a home for Israel, who was opposed in Egypt. In a modern day America, I'm seeking an independent home for you. See, Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. did not do this. See, Reverend Martin Luther King taught you to submit to the white man, to become one of them. See, all your life, you had known that this destruction after so-called freedom is the same as the dog returned to his vomit. The black man was vomited out of the white man, and now he goes back to the white man. How many times we went back to this white man? How many times we was deceived by this white man? See, they don't like us because they know we are coming to a time that we had been free. We will have to leave them because they're not going to give us nothing to leave with. I'm telling you. Agree on this kind of program. Unite with your black people and try to ask white America for a portion. See what she give you a portion. Now it's time for us to leave. It's time for us to pack up and leave. They don't care for us. See, they don't have no use for us. A lot of us was useful for them, but see, when you know what I mean, when they don't make no use for you, you know what I mean? They have no interest of you anymore. You see? They can be angry all they want, but their time is already here. And I go through this every time with these people. Your time is here. If you don't want to get right, that's between you. But I want to say many scientists think that it's too late for America. Many scientists, I say it again, many scientists think that it's too late for this demand because of the anger of God. The fierce anger of God. Now they are fierce. These people are fierce of what's coming. So let's go, man. The white man is right when he says that you are free. You are free now, but if you go back to him, for him to put this chain on you again, he would do so. See, Malcolm flew out from us as a hypocrite. He went and joined white people and worshiped them, and he got what he preached for. Now you see white man named colleges after Malcolm, only to get you to join in the philosophy which he left behind that white people are good. Malcolm went to Mecca and saw white people. Says join in with the black man, he joined in with the white man. Although he was taught this white man birth and death. He preached it as long as he did not turn an enemy against me. And he turned this enemy against me. For he wanted my place over the people. And he thought that by going over the earth and making a mock of me, he would do just that to get rid of me. But the very few people in Mecca and Egypt and other places he went, they are with me today. See, here in the United States of America, today I have more followers than I had before Malcolm said a word. You cannot disgrace one whom God has taken for a friend, who has the power to keep your disgrace to nothing. Should the white man teach you to worship Malcolm in order to lead you astray against me? You come around trying to argue with us. So I don't give 2 cents for you follow Malcolm. If you want to follow him, you'll get divine death and destruction with no one to give you any honor and respect. Only the devil you serve. So the devil set enemies and hypocrites for you to worship or to pull you away from you. He knows that you will be a fool and a losers. But see, brothers and sisters, that is to turn you away from your starvation. Which I'm teaching. See, you cannot prosper fighting against me. For Allah God is not with you, he is with me. See, it does not matter today how many devils you think you have with you. You can have a world full of devils, but that will not amount to anything. It shows how anxious you are to get what this devil off you for following his guidance. Allah God came to put an end to this enemy, the devil, and their powers to rule. This you will learn.